Hi everybody, I'm Beth Kingston, and today my friend Stacy Karen, co-founder, president, creative genius over at Spellbinders, one of my favorite companies ever, is here. Hello, my friend.
Hi.
We're going to make this gorgeous layout using just a few dies, a few sheets of paper. Stacy's going to walk us through it, and I'm going to put it together using my Xyron machine.
That's right.
Okay, let's do it.
We're going to make it look
Let's show 'em what's
professional and
happening.
fun.
Yes.
So first we're going to take the grand caliber,
Yay.
and we're just going to run this through.
Okay.
We've actually taken the die and we've lined it up on this beautiful photo. And as you can see, perfect placement because the dies are open.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
and
think
we've
that's
just
key.
put some tape here so we can have the die not slip
Oh, good.
when it goes through the machine. And then we've taken one of our edging dies that go with our interchangeable edges. And we're just going to finish off this edge. So
All
two
right.
dies, one pass.
Yay.
So we're going to take our base plate and we're going to put it on top. So then we're just going to take the machine and we're going to turn it around and face us, and we're going to roll it through. So the first pass through the machine is going to cut.
Well, and one of the things I love about Spellbinders is there aren't 27 different, put this and then put
No.
this and then put this. It's easy to understand, it's clear.
Yep.
And the dies are such good quality that it does give you perfect cuts every
It
time.
does.
Which
So
is,
see, there's the
Oh,
cuts.
good, okay, perfect.
So then the second cut would be embossing.
Who would not want to emboss?
I know, because that gives you the finished look. So we're going to make the photo emboss.
Okay, good.
So we're done with this. We could put this aside.
Thank you.
And move the die. And we're done with this cut plate. So
Okay.
this is finished. Move that away. So we're back to the base plate, and it's marked base plate. And now,
You guys make it so easy.
We
That's the
do.
great thing about it.
now that we're done cutting, we're just going to flip this over because we want to emboss.
Okay.
Okay. Embossing plate. And just run it through a second time. So now you're going to have the finished detail of the emboss. And that's what gives it the professional look that everybody loves so much.
Yes.
So a lot of people like to stamp, and a lot of dies today match stamps, and Spellbinders has partnered with a lot of companies to make stamps that match our dies.
Oh, good.
So we have taken a beautiful stamp with some stays on, and we've done a really pretty sentiment. We now have already done this, but if you were to run this through,
Oh,
so that
yeah,
matches
that's
perfectly.
fantastic. Okay.
You can also see it right here. This is
Beautiful.
already done.
Love it.
So now we're just going to put the tape on there and
Okay. I
adhere
am
that
ready
down.
to go.
So again, you would just run this through one time to cut it out. If you wanted to emboss it, you would run it through 2 times.
And this is done on acetate, transparency, same
Acetate.
thing? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, we're gonna
And then
stick
you'd
it
use
together.
stays on, you know.
And
pretty
I think it's
Sukaniko.
key. Yes, I think if people don't know about Stays On, they need to learn
They
about
need to
Stays
know.
On.
So then that's just a variety of different cardstock that we used with this very, very beautiful decorative element die.
Okay. I'm going to start putting it together. You tell all the people what we're
Yep. And then we just cut out 3 different, patterns, and then just layer. So this is
And
all about
look
layering.
at how intricate these are. That's what I think really sets Spellbinders apart. I mean,
It
those are
is.
perfectly cut. Look at those little dots.
We are known for
That's what I
the
think is
detail in the
amazing.
dies.
Yes.
So one tip that I would like everybody to know is when you're working with the really detailed dies, put a piece of wax paper over top of your die,
Oh, okay,
and
great.
that'll help eject all of the little tiny pieces off your die
Oh, that's such a good
instantaneously
tip.
when you run through.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to be sitting around poking out all these little pieces, and you're going to get really frustrated.
Nobody wants to do that. That's a great. I mean,
now
I
you
just can't
just-
get over how intricate these are. And really, all we're using is a few scraps of paper.
Right. And then you just layer those on top of one another.
Because I think a lot of people feel like to do a nice layout, you have to buy 27 different pieces of paper. And what I'm going to do is actually just lay this down here and then use the adhesive that I put on the back
Right.
to hold it into place.
Yep.
But a lot of people feel like if they don't buy an entire pack of paper and don't use a whole bunch of different patterns, that it's not going to be a good project. But this is using maybe
No.
2 or 3 different patterns,
Right.
a couple sheets of cardstock.
And the other thing, too, is you can use your scraps.
Yes.
Save your scraps in a box. And then when you're working on specific layouts, colors, whatever,
Yep.
you go to your scrap box, you pick out, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something with oranges or greens, and hey, go to your scrap box, pick out your little scraps that you've saved.
Well-
Because all the dies are different sizes.
And that's how you can use, a lot of people too have a hard time, you and I both know, with using different manufacturers' papers
Right,
together. But when
right.
you're just using small scraps, it doesn't matter, if the yellow doesn't exactly match or they
Right.
didn't exactly come together. So I think this is the perfect way. Scraps and dies are the absolutely perfect way to put
Perfect
these
combination.
together.
And there's also a lot of little tiny stamps that work really beautiful on those scrap
Yes,
pieces of paper.
don't they?
And then you throw them with the die cut machine and the right dies, and you've got this great layout instantaneously. Or cards. Works great for cards too.
Remember back in the day when we used to, if you wanted ovals, you used to have to hand cut them?
Do you remember those days?
Are we telling our age when we're talking about? I mean,
Yeah, I think
of
we
how
probably
far things
are.
have come. Well, and speaking of, I want to show
To the
everybody. This
layout.
is homemade foam tape. I've done a couple of videos about it before, but really what you do to talk about saving money, talk about using your scraps. This is kids craft foam that you can buy at any mass craft. Some of them come with adhesive already on one side. If they don't, run it through your Xyron machine, flip it over, run it through again. Cheap.
Well, I'll tell you another trick.
Yes, tell me.
You take that same craft foam,
Yes.
you run it through with a Spellbinder's die. You put it through the Xyron machine.
I know.
And you can make your own foam stamps.
Oh my God. Oh.
And then
I
you can
didn't even
stamp.
think about that.
Then you have the die, and
My
then you
friend.
actually adhere it to your project. So you have the background stamped.
Oh my God.
You've now made the foam a die cut, and then you adhere it with your Xyron.
You are a total genius. Have I
We've done
told
it
you
for
that
years.
before?
So we love you guys.
I love you too so much. We're just gonna love each other all day.
Yes, we do.
When you're using, I'm using the Mega Runner on this, and here's a little tip too. When you're working with a stamp like this, if you've got some good pattern, you can actually apply the adhesive on the pattern and you won't
see it.
Or you could run it through one of our Xyron machines, and that would give it some edge-to-edge adhesive.
Beautiful. Look at
you.
that.
We're
I
very
think we're
crafty
like
girls.
a match made in heaven, aren't we?
We should just move in here together.
I know.
We'll just stay here forever.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
having
much,
me.
my friend. I'm so happy to
Wonderful.
see you all the time. For more great project ideas, check out Xyron on Facebook and Pinterest, or head on over to spellbinders.com or check out their Facebook page. Thank you, my
Thanks.
friend.